Oh, Lord. Okay. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel of the very best. My name is Yana, and yes, I'm done with the pleasantries. Guess who crashed out again after going on a whole journey with the sole purpose of not crashing out? Me. I did. I done crashed out again. After all that self-work, self-help stuff I've been doing, I done crashed out again. And I'm not gonna lie, after it was all said and done, oh, and I'm not talking about crying into a pillow, throwing like a pillow at the wall, or breaking a glass. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about crashing out. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I'm talking about crashing out. I'm not talking about none of the other stuff. So literally, I felt so bad after it happened that I let this person get me out of character, but I did. And there was a lot of shame because I just felt like I worked so hard on myself. Why am I still having this impulse and this reaction? Like, I thought everything was cool. I thought everything was good. And that was part of the reason why I was never consistent on my YouTube, because I felt like, how am I supposed to be an example or inspire people when this I'm having these reactions, specifically in a relationship. Of course, those be the things that bring it out. But yes, I was like, well, how am I supposed to do what I want to do on this YouTube if I'm having this issue? And something came to me today, and it was like, you are not meant to be perfect. It's about the journey, not the destination. I feel like Tisha Campbell when I said that.
It's the journey.
But like I've like literally it's the journey. So basically I just got over that because I felt so much shame after the crash out. But what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm going to say what I did to deactivate my nervous system and get out of that energy, that anger, and stuff like that, because I think that's what it's about. Is like, sometimes in life you're going to have your episodes, you're going to have your moment, but it's about how quickly you can recover from it. And I will say I've recovered quicker than what I would have in the past, so that's still a plus. So yes, the first thing that I did moments after the crash out is I just felt shame and I just felt disappointment in myself, because I'm like, girl, you've been working hard and somebody still got the best of you. That means somebody still has power over you. And yeah, I felt the shame or whatever. But as time went on and things were obviously de-escalating, I was like, let me try Ho'oponopono. And I'm definitely new to Ho'oponopono. I've heard of it, but I never got into it. And it's basically like this mantra where the person repeats, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And you know, I can be proud. And so that did not resonate at first. But when I understood the actual meaning of it and the actual intention behind it, it resonated with me a lot more. Because when you're doing Ho'oponopono, you want to look at it from more of a law of assumption angle, where everyone is you pushed out and people can only show up in the way that you expect them to and in the way that you define them. So yes, I tried Ho'oponopono. That was one of the first things I did. Well, let me go back. The first thing I did was just let myself feel the after effects and let myself feel the anger, and having those conversations with myself like, why would this person do that? Da da da. That's the first thing I did. Was I just took a few hours to just feel whatever I felt. And then after that, I came across Ho'oponopono. When I did Ho'oponopono, I directed the energy and the intention toward myself first because I felt like I'm all about self-devotion. I'm all about putting yourself first, and I am the most important person in my world. So I directed that energy toward myself first, and I did a few sessions. Honestly, I think I even slept with it on overnight. And I knew it was doing something with my subconscious mind because I woke up in the middle of the night and had like a panic attack. And I haven't had a panic attack in months. So I knew it was doing something. But yes, I listened to it. I've had some interesting dreams. And what I can say is that I did feel a relief, and I felt that tightness and that anger and that burning sensation in my chest started to dissipate, and it started to ease up, and I started to feel more compassion toward myself, and I started to feel a lot better about myself and the situation. Of course, there was still some emotional residue, but the next day is when I decided to do Ho'oponopono directed toward the person. I think I still might have a few more sessions to do. I think I still might have a few more sessions to do. But I will say for the most part, it worked when it came to me being able to ground myself. And the second thing that I did was a breathing exercise. Nothing crazy. I did a breathing exercise with Breathe with Sandy on YouTube. I really like his breathing exercises. And that, of course, has an almost immediate impact on your biology. So that definitely helped me calm down as well. I also did some EFT tapping around my sense of safety and my ability to be unbothered. I also did that, but I didn't do it for long before I ended up going to bed. Another important thing that I will say after you know, have like a huge reaction or you crash out or whatever, the main tip I would say is to just make sure you're nourishing your body the way you regularly would. Like drink enough water and eat. Because in the past, if I was angry, upset, sad, whatever the case is, I'm not eating. I'm not touching food. I don't have an appetite. I didn't have an appetite yesterday, but I still ate something and I still drank water. Because when it comes to like, I realized that when it came to returning my nervous system back to safety, you don't want to ignore those basic biological needs or whatever the case is. So, and lastly, I the last thing I did was find a way to express myself because I felt disappointment about the outcome of a situation and a circumstance with a person. I felt some depression, and when I started to feel that disappointment, a little bit of that depression of just why would they do this, ABCD, I what did I do? I lost my train of thought. What did I do? Expression. I'm actually doing it right now. I was like, I need to figure out a way to express myself instead of just having everything inside. So that's why I decided to get on YouTube. Another way is by dancing, of course. If you're into art, singing, making a poem, right, whatever you're into, but just finding a way to express yourself. I noticed that is definitely helping me because it makes when I have like a situation with someone and I return back to doing something that I want to do or doing something that benefits me, it automatically just makes me feel more grounded in myself, and it makes me feel more in control. Like I'm not letting the situation with this person linger and affect everything that I do and every decision that I make hours after or days after. So that was another thing that helped. So that was so lastly, I surrendered it to God. The circumstance, the person, the situation, I surrendered it to God. just so that it's not always on my mind, going in circles, going in circles. Because one thing I will say is my daddy got a temper and I could be a lot like my daddy, and even my mother, like those two, my parents, they two people, I want to tell you, it could be 5 years later, they ain't letting nothing go, and that is something that I am trying not to um I guess replicate or whatever. Because those stories and those inner conversations would just be replaying in your mind and you won't even realize it. So, yes, those are some things that I did to kind of recover from that big reaction. So yeah, I'll say like a quick little rundown of the first thing I did. The first thing I did was I allowed myself to be angry for a couple of hours. Didn't really do anything, just let myself be angry. Second thing I did was Ho'oponopono, directed toward myself first. Third thing I did was a little bit of EFT tapping, um, around just being unbothered and being safe in my body. And the other thing I did was I think I did a breathing exercise just for the physical. And then expression, dancing, YouTube, whatever, anything like that. Um, and what did I say? Surrender it to God. Basically, that was basically the sequence. And it worked. It definitely worked. Of course, the most important is making sure you're meeting your basic biological needs, eating, drinking water, take your shower, do what you have to do. I think showers themselves are, it's actually a really good thing to do. I feel like that's one of the things I would do first. Next time, hopefully there won't be a next time, but just in case there is, I think I'll get in a shower because a shower is naturally cleansing, not just physically but energetically. Rub a little bit of salt or some sulfur soap and just let the water just clean you up. I think that's also a really good way to kind of de-escalate your energy or whatever. So yes, that was basically all I wanted to share in this video about, my recent crash out and what I did to ground myself again and come back into my energy. Um, and hopefully that might help someone out there that may have the same issue. Sometimes, don't know, but I'm sure it will. Thank you, anyone who watches my YouTube channel. I know this channel is new, so thank you for the one or two people that might see this, or for the a million people that might see this, because who knows. But yes, bye. Have a good day. Have a good night.